Hello students, we are going to start with our new chapter, that is natural resources. It is a very easy chapter and it is very scoring also. Now first of all, what actually natural resources mean? Now read the first line. Human needs can be satisfied partially or completely through resources. Now it says the resource should satisfy the human needs. That means things on which man is dependent, which can fulfill his needs and for which man has a physical and intellectual capacity to utilize them, are called as resources. Now there are thousands of elements in the nature, but all cannot be called resources. We can call only the resources those elements which can be fully utilized by man through his knowledge, skill, expertise, and can be called resources. Now, anything which can fulfill human needs becomes a resources. Now today, with the development in science and technology, man is able to utilize them in various ways. Now in this chapter, we are going to study in detail about it. Okay, the resources which are formed due to the interaction of three components, namely nature, man, and culture. Now, first topic in this is uses of resources. Now, how can be resources useful as mainly resources are useful as, or we can use resources. It can be used in three main ways. First is resource as a food. Now resource obtained from nature which feed us. For example, fruits, crops, milk products, fish. These are some aquatic food. Okay, these are food which we depend on nature. Thus nature serves as a food as a resources. Now second, resources as a source of raw material. Now nature gives us a large variety of products from forest. Agro products, wools, hides, meat available from animals, minerals, ores, etc. which serves as a raw material for our many industries. Now resources as energy. We use coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. as a fuel in industries. Okay, so this also this serves as an energy. For example, we get solar energy, we get energy from the wind, we get energy from the sea waves, tides. So these are resources which are used as an energy resources. So resources are useful in three different ways, that is as food, as a source of raw material, and the third is as energy resources. Now types of resources. Resources are classified in three different ways: on the basis of ownership, on the basis of reavailability, and the third is on the basis of distribution. Let us see first one, that is ownership. Now ownership again is divided into three different ways, that is individual, national, and global. Individual means the owned by any individual or a family. It must be land, building, something like that. National, that is army, international trade. This is a national resources. Now global resources, that means all the physical or non-physical physical resources which are used for human welfare. For example, resources of common ownership, all nations of the world. Now resources classified using on the distribution area. First is the universal resources. That means gases in the atmosphere, oxygen, nitrogen, whatever gases are there in the atmosphere, that is an universal. Generally available resources, easily available resources, that is land, soil, water, pasture land. Now rare resources. Rare resources are those resources which are available at a limited space. That means minerals, coal, petroleum, copper, gold, something like that. Now solitary resources. Now solitary resources are those resources, minerals which available only at one or two places in the world. That is cryolite, which is only available in the Greenland. Now thus we can you must be now knowing about resources. Again one more thing you have to know, that is resources. Again, they are classified into two types, that is renewable resources and non-renewable. Now renewable you also have studied in the previous classes. Example: sun, light, wind, tidal energy, the resources which reproduce themselves as per their usage within a specific time are called renewable, and non-renewable resources are those which cannot be reused or reproduced with a short period of time. For example, mineral, coal, natural gas, petroleum, etc. They are all called non-renewable resources. Now the next topic is planning and conservation of resources. You must be knowing now resources, what resources are. Now how to plan, how to conserve our resources. See, human needs are unlimited while the resources are limited. That's why it's necessary that we should conserve our resources. We should know how to have a proper planning. Now first steps for conservation and planning. First of all, gather information about the availability of utilized and unutilized and probably resources of any region or a country. That is getting information about all the resources which you get from your region. Now second point. The second point is the resources which are limited or non-renewable should be exploited scientifically and should be used only where it is necessary to use them. That means to have a proper planning to use whatever resources are available for you, and then use that resources till it is not important. Now the third point, attempts should be made to develop those resources, the quantity of which can be increased. That means use of such resources which can be used, and again the quantity of that resources can be increased. For example, see solar energy. So we can use the solar energy. Yes, solar energy is available in plenty of quantity, so we can use as it resources. Now the resources which are cheaper and easily available and should not be wasted, but instead should be used primarily for future use. Again, the resources which are available, we should not blindly use that resources because it is cheaper. We should plan that resources, and for example petroleum, if we are going on using this type of product, then certainly in future the scarcity of this type of product or this type of resources will be there. Now those resources which are limited in quantity should be conserved, and we should find an alternative option. As I told you, solar energy alternate, we can save electricity from that also. Now next one, necessary laws should be formed for the conservation of resources and should be enforced strictly. See, this point mainly is for the government. The government should form certain law, and it should see that that law is enforced strictly. Now last one, citizens should be well equalized with all fact association with the ration use of the resources, and a public awareness should be cultivated. That is, public awareness that should be very much necessary, because when the publics are aware about the importance of the resources, they are going to conserve these resources. So public awareness is very much. Now the next topic is soil. Now first of all, know what is soil. The uppermost layer of the crust of the earth is called soil, which contain minerals and biotic elements. Now in the previous classes and in science also, you have studied a lot about soil and soil formation. Now soil is a thin layer on the surface of the earth and is composed of various elements. The part of the surface of the earth where the vegetation grow is known as soil. In other words, we can say that the soil is a natural mixture of minerals and biotic animals which have the capacity to grow and develop vegetation. Now the climate also has a great impact upon the soil. Now first of all, let us study what is soil formation. Now generally the part of the surface on whether the vegetation grow is known as soil, as I told you before also. Now soil formation take place on on the parental material, which is also called as parental rock. Natural factors like temperature, climate, vegetation, topography, time, etc. result into the formation of the flat top portion of the rocks. This process result in the formation of the thin layer of small rocks, clay and dust. In other words, which we can say that the soil is a natural mixture of minerals and biotic animals which have the capacity to grow and develop vegetation. Now, let us see types of soil. Now, Indian Council of Agriculture Research have divided the soil into 8 different types on the basis of color, climate, parental rock, structure and humus. First is alluvial soil, second is red soil, third is black, laterite soil, desert soil, mountainous soil, forest soil, marshy and peaty soil. In 9th standard in SS also you must have studied about these types of soil where it is found. Now in detail we are going to study how the soil, what are the characteristics of this soils are. We will study one by one. The first is alluvial soil. Now alluvial soil is formed due to the alluvium that the river deposits among their banks. This soil contains potash, phosphoric acid and limestone in a large portion, whereas nitrogen and humus in a small portion. About 43% of area of India is covered with alluvial soil. Now where it is found? This soil is found in the northern plain from the Brahmaputra valley in the east up to Satluj, in the west, and in the delta regions of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri rivers. The nitrogen content of the alluvial soil can be stabilized in the crops of pulses where it is grown in. Now which crops grow? So wheat, paddy, sugarcane, jute, cotton, maize, oilseed, etc. This is very beneficial for these soils. Now the second soil is our red soil. Now red soil is red in color due to the presence of ferric oxide. It becomes yellow as one goes denser down into the soil. About 19% area of India is covered with the red soil. The soil is spread from Tamil Nadu in the peninsular India up to Budelkhand in the north, and from Rajmahal Hills in the east up to the Kutch in the west. Such soil is found in the districts of Udaipur, Chittorgarh, Dungarpur, Banaswada and Bhilwas. Now this soil is deficient in magnesium, potassiate, nitrogen, potash. Now mainly which crops grows here? Millet, cotton, wheat, jowar, linseed, groundnut, potato, etc. grow in the soil. Now the third is your black soil. Now it is believed that black soil was formed due to the solidification of the lava spread over a large area due to the volcanic activity in the Deccan Plateau thousands of years ago. So we can say that lava soils and the climate played a very important role in the formation of the black soil. Now black soil is a very fertile soil. It has a good capacity of retaining moisture. Where the moisture dries up, the soil develop and cracks develops in the soil. Black or regular soils cover about 50% of the total area of India. It is about entire Maharashtra, Western Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and certain areas of Karnataka. Now also you have to know that in Gujarat, black soil is found in Surat, Bharuch, Narbada, Vadodara and Tapi. Crops like cotton, mustard, groundnut, tobacco grow in this soil. Now also you have to remember that cotton soil is suitable to cultivating this black soil is very useful in cultivating the cotton. So this is also known as a cotton soil. See the cracks you can see. This is black soil. Now let us move further, that is laterite soil. As the name says, the laterites is derived from the Latin word later, which means brick. So it is also in red in color. Now remember, red soil and laterite soil both look and red in color, but here laterite soil contain iron oxide. So this is the main difference. It becomes very hard when the soil becomes wet. It becomes very smooth, and when it is dry, it becomes very hard. Now the soil contains iron, potash and aluminum. This soil is less fertile, but crops like paddy, ragi, sugarcane, tea, coffee, cashew grow in this thing. Now the last, desert soil. Now this is less fertile. Rajasthan, Haryana, southern Punjab have this type of soil. Now crop like millet and jowar can be cultivated in this soil. In Gujarat we can find this soil in Kutch. Now mountain soil. This type of soil is found in the valley of slopy regions of Himalaya, in the altitude of 2700 to 3000 meter. Assam, Darjeeling, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh and Kashmir have this type of soil. Now forest soil. Himalaya, Sahyadri, Eastern Ghats, Tarai region has this type of soil. Tea, coffee, spices and other crops like wheat, maize, barley, paddy, etc. grow in this type of soil. Now the last is marshy or peaty soil. This soil develops in the humid region due to the accumulation of the biotic element. Now during the rainy season, the land is submerged under the water, and when the water reduces, here the paddy can be grown. Now northern Bihar, Almora district of Uttarakhand, Odisha, West Bengal, coastal Tamil Nadu, this type of area contains marshes.